There was a time on the earth when we lived in an environment of higher consciousness, where we were still linked with our origins from the stars, where we lived in harmony with nature and each other. Lemuria was an ancient civilization said to be the beginning of higher consciousness on the planet. People lived there in a state of oneness with nature and were taught by the Pleiadian mothers about wisdom, compassion, duality, their spiritual connection, and higher dimensional knowledge. We will be reconnecting energetically with the Pleiadian mothers who are still here on Earth in a higher dimension. We will learn all about ancient Lemuria from the teachings and channelings of Cryon through Lee Carroll and Monica Murani. And we will experience the strong energies of Lemuria in a Stargate meditation guided by Alcazar through Prageet and Julianne. We will bring you an energetic experience of being in the Lemurian energies, which may trigger memories if you were in Lemuria, or connect you to the vibration of higher consciousness if this is your first experience of Lemurian energies. The energy of Lemuria is still here, and now it's time to reconnect. Deep within your DNA, the secrets of higher consciousness are still held. In the timelessness of the quantum field, Lemuria is still here with us today. Join us to feel it once more and learn all about this ancient connection through the teachings and channelings of Cryon and Alcazar.
Welcome once again.
Here we are, excited for what's going to be revealed today.
So this is the fourth and final day of the task of the new Lemurian. So let's give a big welcome to everyone around the world.
Hello.
Hello. Wait for it.
Well, she hasn't switched the camera
there
yet.
we go.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Welcome, y'all. We were just inviting you in energetically and feeling the energy build up. As soon as we get within like 1 or 2 minutes of going live, there's a big influx. So
Let's consciously, all of us around the world, intend to connect energetically. Wow, can you feel that? The energy's just got stronger and more beautiful. This is really, really wonderful. Because this energy, as we hold it right now, it's connecting to all the stargates around the world. The stargate is a receiver and a transmitter. So right now, as we hold these energies, it's bathing the earth with these gentle, loving energies. So again, a very, very special welcome to Monica and Lee. And we're really looking forward to find out what's coming next.
Thank you, Prageet. What a privilege it has been for us to present with the two of you. It's a meld that is long overdue in the way we're doing this, and I want to do it again. And I want to tell those who are listening now that Monica and I would like to wrap this up in a succinct way, to tell you truly what all this means and all the things that we have given. We'll give you a little summary here and then move into actually the practicality of why we're teaching this, what it might mean to you. And then there's something coming in the next teaching section that we do that is absolutely brand new and that makes tremendous change. And it's great to reveal it, and it's so fresh. But we're going to put that away for now and go for a little bit of a practical review and some things that you need to hear.
So we are on day 4, and we have covered a lot. So we want to quickly take you through everything we have discussed. which began with the Pleiadian mothers being part of a galactic lineage. And they came as part of a loving, benevolent plan. So different to the stories of ETs that our culture is surrounded with, where ETs are coming to destroy us or take something from us. On the contrary, there were extraterrestrial beings of high ascension consciousness that came 200,000 years ago all over the globe, because there were humans all over the globe. And so the Pleiadian mothers came to change the DNA and to give the humans on Earth the spark of divinity within their DNA. And one of those places the Pleiadian mothers came was a mini continent that we now call Lemuria. Some have even called it the continent of Mu. And during that time, there was a bubble of magma that had created a mini continent that today we call the chain of islands that make up Hawaii. And this place was unique and special because in this area of Lemuria, the Pleiadian mothers were there as teachers for the entire civilization and society that Lemuria existed, which was thousands of years. The only culture that we know of today that has been living in the moment for 50,000 years is that of the Aboriginals within Australia. And they claim they also had ancestral beings. We don't know how long those Pleiadian mothers were with that culture, but they're certainly not there with them today in the physical form. But they claim that there are places in the rocks the ones whose names you cannot pronounce still reside, and that you cannot visit those areas. So within that culture that still exists today, there is one acknowledgement that their ancestral beings came from the stars, and that too, they are still in the planet and present today. And their teachings often have similarities between the esoteric teachings that Cryon has given us about what took place in Lemuria. But again, Lemuria was special because it had a single purpose, and that was to create the Akashic template and blueprint for humanity that would contain sacred instructions for life of core spiritual truth. So again, the purpose of Lemuria was to receive directly core spiritual truths and sacred instructions on how to live life, so that when you went out into the world, no longer under the influence of the teaching from the Pleiadian mothers, you had all of that within your Akash. But the next question comes, Lemuria, was I there? Perhaps Lee can help you unravel that question.
This is probably the most asked question that we get when we talk about this entire subject. Was I a Lemurian? And the answer is, it doesn't matter, because the information that was given, implanted, and realized in Lemuria has spread through humanity, through that which you would normally understand, your lineage, your biology. And that's because it's contained in the DNA. We all understand biological heredity and how that works. and how that one family can be a family of musicians or of artists, and that this is the way it works biologically. It is similar to that. So what I'm going to tell you is that even if you weren't physically there in a past life, and if you've done the mathematics of how many people are on Earth and how many might have been in Lemuria, you'd say, well, I couldn't have been there. But there is a piece and a part of you that was inherited that remembers you were. I hope this makes sense to you. So many have a remembrance of things that perhaps they didn't actually participate in a past life, but it feels like they did. And again, I return to how many feel they were in Atlantis. Way too many to have ever been in Atlantis. This is the whole idea. Were you in Lemuria? At some level, there is the remembrance that was implanted in your ancestors, your spiritual ancestors, your past life ancestors that has gone to you, old soul. And then there is what Cryon talks about as the school of past lives, and that is the longer that you have been on this planet, coming and going, and coming and going, and coming and going, perhaps as the original souls, having built up to being here now, that is like a school of the Akash. You've been there, you've done that. And you come to a place where there truly is a graduation occurring. And we're going to talk about that. It's absolutely new information that's coming in the next teaching section. But this boils down to this. All of you, especially the old soul, are starting to awaken to this Lemurian attribute of having been taught at some level the instructions for life, the sacredness of who you are. There is an unusual awakening on this planet right now. Really unusual. Why now would you have so many people understanding the esoterics where they never did 30, 40 years ago? Where 30 and 40 years ago, things that were laughable, today you're tuning in to find out more about them. What is that? It's more than simply the shift that is happening or what you consider the field that is happening. Something else is causing an awakening on the planet where literally you see it all over the planet. Right now, where wars are breaking out and there's a tremendous feeling, we don't want that anymore. Instead of when history repeated itself and wars would break out and suddenly everybody got on board with the various factions and there was another war. History is not repeating itself for the first time. For the first time. That in itself said, what is going on? That there is some kind of a larger awakening. What brings you here right now? Why are there so many of you watching this? So many of us have an online presence who are teachers now. There's so much on YouTube now that is spiritual. There are so many channelers now. And there are so many awakening to processes now. This is an explosion of enlightenment. And it's happening everywhere. And you can see it. What is it? Let me describe what it is. It is the remembrance that we are talking about right now, that Cryon talked about, that even the star mothers back then talked about as a prophecy to come. And this is the awakening to the teaching that is sacred. Is there more to life? Is there something you should know that has always been there, that perhaps you got a piece and a part of in your spiritual systems, but there's a bigger truth? How many of you watching this have been in a spiritual system where you fell in love with God? And the answer is many, because God is love. And I say to you, what if there is a lot more to that? You only got the seed of it. What if there's an expansion of the knowledge, of the energy, of the beauty, of the love, of the compassion, and it's starting to be felt worldwide, but especially among the old souls of the planet who have been here for a very, very long time. That's what triggers everything we do. Why is Stargate so popular? It swept the world. It's all over the world. And those who will watch it say, I don't know what it is. But when Alcazar begins, it takes me somewhere else. The very geometric figures of the sacredness of Stargate is a healing energy. Why now? What happened in 1989 that opened this window that began all of the things that you see just among the four of us? And the answer is, it's time. The timing is perfect. And that's perhaps why you're watching. And it has to do with you. Were you in Lemuria? It doesn't matter. A piece and a part of you has been captured that is and was part of this teaching, part of the sacredness of why you're here. Welcome to the awakening. Are you feeling it yet? There are things here yet to be taught. There's something coming that's brand new that Krian wants to show you and that has happened that we want to discuss, and that'll be in the next section. But that is actually the whole reason a time capsule is opening. A time capsule on time, that's the time capsule, that it opens on time. And that's why you're here. And that is the story of the task of the Lemurian, is truly now to pass forward incrementally what you're receiving in compassion and love and instructions for life. It's not a process. It's a life force.
And so those in Lemuria, as well as those who are the indigenous and connected deeply to the earth, are very aware of what we call cycles. There are fractals of time that occur. There are cycles that occur throughout the galaxy. And could it be that you yourself right now are in a cycle? Is it possible that you are part of a 25,000-year plan? That your incarnations on Earth have experienced the full range of experiences within a 25,000-year cycle. And could it be that that 25,000-year cycle coincides with the cycle of time of the precession of the equinox, which is approximately 26,000 years? And if it is possible that that cycle of your own life that correlates with the precession of the equinox would mean that 2012 was a significant marker of your experience of the cycles of time that your soul is experiencing on the earth. And what would that mean exactly? The way that the Mayans understood the cycle of time meant that when one cycle was finished, it was the creation of a brand new cycle. What if you now sit on the cusp of beginning the next 25,000-year cycle that you will now experience on the planet Earth? Can you feel the potency of coming to the end of a 25,000-year cycle on earth, and that you are now emerging and entering into that next 25,000 year cycle, and what that will mean for the planet, for humanity, for generations to come. This is the place where we now stand. This is the reason for the Great Awakening. This is why there is so much excitement around the galaxy. There is so much hope for the light that is coming onto the planet and spilling into every corner of the globe, even in the most darkest places. There is a light coming that cannot be stopped because we have passed the tipping point that brings us into the new era of that next 25,000 year cycle that we are emerging into. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you have not already, so that we can now hear from Cryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Cryon of Magnetic Service. I want you to relax in the arms of Spirit right now. The question you might ask yourself as you have signed up for 4 days of esoteric teaching, what does it mean to me? More than that, am I involved? And I can tell you that if you are watching this, and you are serious about watching this, you are involved. I know who you are, because God is love. Spirit is aware of every soul who is watching this now and later, no matter what the time frame is for you. And that is why this has been created for you to be, to hear, to participate in. Is it possible to send healing, beautiful healing energy into the field so that all of you receive it? We're going to be doing that later. And the answer is yes. If you have ever tuned in to any other Stargate, you know what happens. It is transmitted directly to you, and not to a group of you, to you personally as you sit there with your name. This is what this is about. Can you feel the personal touch right now that we all have for you? Where is the Akash, you might ask? It's a very linear question. But you ask that because all of the teaching has referred to that which is stored somehow in your Akash, that is awakening, that was given in Lemuria, that you are starting to awaken to and receive in some way. There are some of you who are uncomfortable because you feel change is coming. Can I touch your heart? Do you give me permission? What if the change was benevolent? Feel this. What if the change is what you've always asked for? As this Akash starts to reveal itself, it also starts to morph, to change. Even the Akash itself is starting to move into a new kind of energy. Your DNA has always been that place where the Akash has been stored. Even researchers have been puzzled for years as why less than 3% of all of the DNA is biologically driven and nothing else seems to be. In other words, over 90% of your DNA seemed to do nothing. And then in 2012, linguists were involved in discovering what else was in DNA. And the answer was not chemical actions, but language. In other words, instructions. Your Akash is in your DNA, dear ones. Do not assume where it is, how it works, because it is beyond that which you understand in 3 dimensions. It shows itself in how it works with you. And dear ones, that is about to change. And I'm going to give you more information. My partner is going to tell you what I have said just recently that changes everything. It starts to enhance it in a way you didn't expect, but it's still the remembrance of the Star Mothers and their teaching. But it's now going to be focused in a way that you didn't expect. And that which you had hoped would happen is going to start very soon. A system change, and how life is actually driven and remembered through old energy versus new energy through the field. And my partner is going to give you that. And it's extremely controversial. Every time there is major change, there are those who say, you can't do that, because the narrative says it's forever. Is anything really forever? There is only one thing that is forever, dear ones. Only one. Can you guess what it is? It's the love of God. That's forever. But how it is delivered to you and how you work with that, dear ones, is changing. And doesn't it make sense that it would? As light comes onto the planet, as enlightenment itself begins to be accepted on the planet, doesn't it make sense that the things that were old will drop away? And if you are one who says, yes, that makes sense, then you are on board for what is next. Dear Lemurian, watching this, most of you are receiving this, or you wouldn't be watching, or you wouldn't be interested. Do you give allowance for something good coming to you? I think the answer is yes. And so it is.
Beloved ones, we are with you still. We invite you once more to consciously connect to each other around the world and to the guides that are holding this energy field for you these days. Consciously intend to connect with each other. Consciously intend to be part of the vibration that the guides are holding for you. You have all gone through changes already. Some of them are beautiful. Some of them have drawn you to this information out of desperation, perhaps. What am I going to do in my life? How can I survive what is going on in the world? No matter how you've been drawn to this experience, know that you were guided to be here. You were listening to an inner call from the depths of who you are. Understand that over the lifetimes you have been very strongly, very deeply conditioned into belief systems that do not acknowledge the greater reality, that have kept you from experiencing the greater truths. That is changing now. You are awakening. Do not be afraid of change. Sometimes the change that occurs seemingly on the outside, which seems as if it has nothing to do with you, those changes are always a gift to assist you to move on to the next step. Your programming from the past, when you are confronted with something, losing your job, losing your partner, losing a friend, whatever it is, the old conditioning brings up fear. We say to you now, when something changes, take a moment and celebrate the change. Oh, I am being shown there is another step for me now. I don't know what it is, quite possibly, but I know that I am being drawn into a higher experience. Trust. Trust in the guidance that is there for you, whether or not in that moment you feel the guidance. This is why we come together in these gatherings. We come together to give you a taste of the support that is there, unseen, but felt. We give you the experience of connecting with each other, feeling your consciousness opening and connecting with others around the world. We have stressed the import of community, close community. And by close, we do not necessarily mean physically close. We are talking about the closeness that you develop with an open heart, that you share with another on their journey as you are on yours. Do not be afraid of change. Celebrate. When the fear arises, if fear arises, take a moment. Remember, we are with you still. Not just this group of Alcazar. Many guides are here. Your star family is here. You are loved. You are being gently assisted every step of the way when you allow it. You have been taught to be afraid of fear. Understand that. You have been taught to be afraid of fear. That is not natural. Fear is natural. It is a protection mechanism to take care of the body. But this conditioned fear can go now. This conditioned fear no longer needs to be in your field. But it is you who needs to say no more. I do not wish to live out of fear anymore. I wish to welcome the energies of love in their many manifestations. I welcome love into my life. That always starts by loving yourself more deeply. You are attracted to these words and energies because you are ready. We have been saying for many years, the Stargate only attracts intelligent people. We are not talking about degrees. We are talking about those who are coming to their senses in a way, who are beginning to challenge what they have been told, because they are starting to feel some of these things are no longer accurate for them. And you have started to look. You have found these channels and the information and the energies, the wisdom that is offered to you. And as we have said before, we do not ask you to believe what we say. We want you to have your own experience. It is so important that it is you that choose to have the experience, because that becomes another step in your freedom. We simply point the way, one direction of many. But there are those who resonate with the directions that we guide you on. Never saying you do this or do that, just a suggestion. The energies and the words that we bring you are to give you a taste so that you can decide, is this something for me or not? And beloveds, this is not for everyone. More and more people are discovering the support that is available. But as has often been said, there are many paths to the top of the mountain, but they all meet there. So not to criticize others' paths, knowing that at some point you will all be meeting together. Beloved ones, let us move a little deeper into some energy.
And so, can you allow for the possibility that as the world moves through this great transition, you can spread your wings and fly in the energies of spirit, that you can soar above any chaos, any turbulence, not that you are unaffected by it, but you know the routes to higher consciousness. That this is not some stagnant shift that you get once and it is completed. Not at all. This is a living energy within you already, and you are learning how to tap into it. And as we have said, there are so many pathways to finding this source energy. There are so many millions upon millions of people pursuing this in the name of action adventure sports, in the name of flow states, in the name of peak performance. People are pursuing excellence. It is not broadcast or focused upon in your news media, but it is occurring. People are focusing on solutions. And so, beloveds, as you light upon this path of change, be aware that you are a beacon, a lighthouse, so to speak. That the light that emanates as you go deeper into these experiences touches others in ways you cannot know. You cannot imagine the impact you are having here on this your earth. And so indeed, let us move deeper into the energies. Each one of you feeling and sensing the field around you. Recognizing you are already like an antenna for spirit, receiving and broadcasting. As you are simply listening to our words, they are occupying your mind whilst your beingness resonates far deeper. And so just asking inside now for the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia to come up into your body, into your energy field.
And so just allowing the support from the earth, the asking and allowing. Is that simple? Is that easy?
And now inviting once again an etheric stargate to come and form around you.
And as you ask, visualize, feel, imagine. For this helps you connect more deeply to the energetic of the etheric stargate, the energy of that consciousness that responds to you when you ask for an etheric stargate. And now ask for it to activate, which is giving your permission for the stargate to work with you.
And so we call for the activation of all the stargates around the world.
Very good. And as before, as you relax into your stargate, a very soft, gentle, energetic starts to radiate to you. And we are going now to vibrate all the stargates faster and faster.
And so starting this process now, vibrating the entire Stargate grid faster, all the Stargates around the world vibrating as one and accelerating up into your fifth dimensional reality and continuing to vibrate faster and faster through the fifth into the sixth dimension, vibrating faster still, reaching now into your seventh dimensional frequencies where we bring the stargates to a gentle pause and we invite you to ask inside for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
we call for a strong seventh dimensional energy in the whole of the Stargate grid, so that your etheric Stargate is gently vibrating these energies, these frequencies to you right now. Just feeling yourself relaxed and present. Relaxed and present. These gentle energies bringing a harmony to each and every one of us and a connectedness to this beautiful field of energy you are creating together, supported by the Stargate grid system. Feeling your own presence, feeling part of this vast community that are awakening together. You are doing so well. Something that you cannot fully understand, for you are in the process. But as we observe you, we can see how much you are changing, how much you are opening. And as you already understand, perhaps, that as you open and start to hold these higher vibration energies permanently, the first thing that happens is that these higher vibrational energies start to reject the lower frequencies, the old conditionings, the old beliefs. And so it might seem a little strange if you raise your vibration, all the old problems and situations arise. But understand, this is the process. They are arising for two reasons. The first is that you no longer need them in your life. The second reason is that at this level, you have the ability to understand them and let them go. You understand, I no longer need to live with this belief, with this habit, and you let it go. These things arise when you have the ability to let them go. And so, those who are on a rapid path to acceleration experience many challenges arising. But you have the ability, you have within you the awareness, the consciousness that can say, okay, now, how do I tackle this situation in a new way? Because it is the new way that you are calling for. So as you are relaxed into this vibrational energy of the seventh dimension, we are talking to you here because here this vibration supports this mental clarity. And now we continue to vibrate all the stargates faster and faster.
So all the stargates vibrating as one, lifting up now through your 8th dimensional frequencies and accelerating through the 9th into your 10th dimension, vibrating faster and faster into the 11th dimensional frequencies now and continuing. And we are reaching now into your 12th dimension, where again all the stargates come to a gentle pause, and we ask each one of you to ask inside for a strong 12th dimensional frequency in all the stargates around the world.
And as you ask, just feel as your stargate starts to radiate these higher frequencies. And as we have said a few days ago, just notice that the energies are becoming more subtle, just as powerful and yet more subtle, as we encourage you to become more and more in tune with finer energies, assisting you in developing more and more sensitivity to the energies around you. Very good. We are now going to ask you to invite once more the guides that have been holding this field, but asking with a strong intention to call forth again all the support without having to name them all. Just asking inside now for the support of all those benevolent beings who have been holding these energies for us.
So we call for the support of all the guides.
And just feel as this field grows around us. Just feel. Yes. Relaxing into this field. Feeling the comfort that this field of support brings you. And let us once more, with a strong desire, to invite the presence of the Pleiadian mothers, these star mothers who have given so much and continue to give, asking for them to come and bless us once more in this meditation.
We call for the presence of the Pleiadian mothers.
And feel, here they come, feeling this energy. Feel this. Invite them to come closer. Can you feel such a love? And we say to you, they have so much more love to share with each one of us. And we are encouraged to open, to receive more. Just intending, relaxing, allowing their love to permeate your beingness. For as you receive their love right now, as you continue to ask and receive, the very energetic of Lemuria, the very wisdom and knowledge of Lemuria, the perfection that they have brought to humanity can be received and revived within you from deep inside your very DNA, that higher dimensional DNA that carries so much, asking for more. Can you now vibrate that ancient wisdom within each and every one of us? Are you ready? Can you receive the frequencies from these beautiful Pleiadians? Can you allow them to vibrate that ancient wisdom within. Yes. Simply feeling that energy that has been already shared with you as they gently honor you and withdraw again. Within you now are subtle vibrations, gently inviting you to remember, to remember again that state of enlightenment, as you call it. These blessings that you have just received are very gently vibrating you, gently caressing, if you will, saying it is time to remember. It is time. And these gems of wisdom and these deeper and deeper experiences of love are going to gently unfold within you, accelerated by the blessings that you have just received, allowing for the possibility that in these few moments together, over these days, change has already happened in the most beautiful way. And as we said when we began to talk a few moments ago, do not be afraid of change. That which we call your superconscious or your higher self is always the one guiding your change. Your greater consciousness is guiding your human experience. And so, as changes appear, whether they are gradual or seemingly shocking, go with the flow. And just remember, these are part of the blessings. They are not stumbling blocks in your life. See them as blocks to help you climb even higher. Beloved ones, there is so much wanting to come into your lives now. But remember, it is you who are in control of your personal evolution. You can move as fast or as gently as you wish. But we ask you, why would you want to go slowly when you know there is so much waiting for you? Celebrate the changes. Dismiss the fears if and when they arise, knowing that that is part of the old. It is, in a sense, one of the biggest conditionings to remove from your field. When you can let go of this false fear, change can happen so beautifully. Change can happen in ways that you cannot yet imagine. But maybe you can sense somehow what we are saying beyond the words. Because you have been told for so many lifetimes that you are not special, that you are the same as everyone else. You do not see your uniqueness. You do not love or value who you are and what you have to share. We have given this example in the past. Just imagine yourself walking down the street. In your presence, your higher vibration, just you being you, enjoying the walk. And coming the other way, you see someone who's clearly unhappy or miserable. Maybe they are in a difficult situation, a street person, as you sometimes call them. Or just someone who is very depressed. And as you walk past them, not even saying anything perhaps, but as you walk past them, for a moment, a split second, they walk past you and they walk through your field of love. They walk through your higher vibration. And in that moment, they can be transformed. Their misery can suddenly shift. And for some reason they feel hopeful, not knowing why. They are not miserable anymore. They are feeling okay. Just that brief touch of your energy can transform lives. And so when you are walking around the supermarket, you are vibrating. Notice the children that look at you. They see, they feel. They turn and look. Smile at them. Yes, I can see you too. Beloved ones, start honoring who you are already. We see how you touch people just with being present with who you are. And if you can acknowledge that, so much more can happen. Beloved ones, we are always with you. You are never alone. We smile upon you. When these changes occur in your life, we say again, celebrate. It is telling you you have made another step. You are about to rise again. Another little step into your true beingness. And as we have said many times now, connect with others. Find your community. The beauty of your internet means that you can have friends around your world. You can have deep, intimate connections with friends around the world as you open your heart, as you share your lives, your joys, your challenges. Because when you are in a challenging situation and you share that with others, perhaps they can give you an insight. This is what happened when I was in a similar place. Or, why don't you try this? Or, relax. You are never alone. Relax and feel Spirit supporting you in ways that the mind necessarily does not know in that moment, simply because you are being challenged to step out of the old and into the new. With each step, beloveds, you create a new relationship with Spirit, with yourself, because that superconscious self is in Spirit, has never left Spirit, is guiding you every moment that you are willing to listen to your intuition. Feel right now. Just feel this softness. Notice the gentle vibration within. Can you sense an inner peace, an inner stillness? The Pleiadian mothers touched you and shed their stillness. Feel the very subtle vibrations in your energy field. Feel your heart beat. And if you can feel your heartbeat, notice how your energy fluctuates with every single heartbeat. Your energy field is not static. It is a constant flux. It is there that you can feel us. We are with you always. Take these vibrations with you into your life. And enjoy the transformation that is going to continue to happen for you. You are doing well. And as you remain in this energy, start to bring your focus back to the room and feel your room around you and your place in the room. Seeing it still with your eyes closed. And then when you are ready to come back, to come fully back, allow the eyes to come open and just really celebrate who you truly are in this body, in this moment of now. And I'm feeling the need to stretch, so maybe that is something you might like to do as well. It feels like we're being taken into some very special places.